Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 25 of Pumping Iron, the review series for Gran Turismo's current selection of classic muscle cars. And throughout this series, in both episodes we've already done and those to come, we sometimes feature vehicles which kind of straddle the fence between two categories of vehicle, namely muscle and sports. And the two primary examples of that are the Cobra and, more dominantly, the Corvette. Now, I would say there are only a select few Corvettes which can genuinely be considered to be also muscle cars as well as sports cars. And for the most part, I would say that's pretty much anything from the third generation backwards. In the case of the first generation, it depends on the model, because for the most part that was more of a pure sports car, whereas the second generation is definitely a muscle car as well as a sports car, and this third generation I think can just about get away with being classed as a muscle car as well, due to the fact that it's often put up against muscle cars. Many racing games consider it to be a muscle car in what they allow it to enter in terms of races. The side exit pipes, the big capacity engines, and the look as a whole also lend it towards being part of muscle car culture as well as just a sports car. So we are including it in the muscle car series. Now, that being said, what does this particular Corvette have to offer? Well, it's the 69 model, the third generation Stingray, and this is the Convertible, which is the premium model. There are two C3 Corvettes currently featured on the game, the premium and the non-premium. Now, it's to be noted that they both have very distinct advantages over each other. This model, the premium, has two primary advantages. One is the price, and the second is the fact that it's a premium. So you get that fully detailed interior, the workable headlights and windscreen wipers, etc., as well as just looking and sounding better overall. The second one, though, is quite surprising, and that is it's also cheaper, strangely enough, at 50,000 credits, compared to the non-premium L46 C3's 71,000 credits, so considerably cheaper in the case of this car. Now, why is that the case? Well, for one very simple reason, and this lends itself towards what I was saying about the other car having distinct advantages as well, and that advantage is, in the case of the non-premium, it is a faster and more powerful car than this, which is the main reason why this car is cheaper. Now, that said, most people still tend to go for this model of the two because of the fact that it's a premium. That does tend to draw people's attention a lot more than just spec, especially showroom spec, because you can never really tell which is going to be better just looking at the car in the showroom. You have to actually buy them to find that out. So, what does this car have to offer fully tuned? Well, it's powered by a 350 cubic inch or 5.7 litre V8, which you can supercharge up to a reasonably good 616 horsepower. I say reasonably good because for any other car that would be great for its age, but for an American car that does fall at the lower end of the pack. That's more Camaro level rather than Chevelle or Charger or Cuda. So it's not as powerful as some of the better known and bigger, boxier muscle cars, but still certainly has enough power to give it good performance, and that it certainly has. Another advantage of this particular Corvette, primarily compared to other muscle cars in general, is the weight. It's pretty lightweight at 1,242 kilos. And even though it doesn't have a massive amount of power, it does still put out just under 500 horsepower per tonne, which is pretty decent for a car with nowhere near as much power as many of the others. As far as PP, it sits at 574, which funnily enough is actually slightly higher than the non-premium, despite being significantly less powerful. So as I said, the cars do have very distinct advantages, and in some ways they actually kind of cancel each other out because of how good both of them are individually. If anything, I'd actually recommend buying them both because they're both very good in their own way. Primarily, of course, if you are a fan of the Corvette. Overall, this car has another very, very good and possibly its best advantage over the other muscle cars, especially the box body Charger, Chevelle, Camaro, that kind of thing, muscle car selection, and that is the handling. Because of the fact that the Corvette is part muscle, part sports, it handles itself much better than your typical boat handling box-bodied muscle car. It has the lower slung weight, the longer, narrower body with more of a almost European or Japanese sports kind of feel to the steering. Now, it's no Toyota 2000 GT or Jag E-Type when it comes to cornering, but it's a lot better than many other muscle cars. And around the track, I would actually recommend using this car. I would say around the track is possibly even the best way to use this muscle car, because the top speed isn't as strong as some. The acceleration's okay, but not really against other muscle cars. But around the track, it really does shine, especially for its spec. So if you're looking for a highly collectible and premium muscle car which also crosses into the sports category, this is a great one to go for. So that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.